Welcome back to Steiners Winemaking 101 video series. Today is part 6. About 2 weeks ago we racked our wine and we got all this sediment down to the bottom. You take a close look at it, you'll see there's quite a bit down there. Today we're going to be doing our final racking, and then we're going to be doing our filtering of the wine. And time permitting, we will be bottling our wine and having a sample. So let's get started. Okay, we got our racking started, and you're going to see a big difference in clarity as it goes from one carboy to the other. So we're almost done our racking. You'll see that there's a lot of sediment even on the sides of the carboy as well as the bottom. And again, with this racking, you don't want to bring any of the sediment in, so we're not going to tilt it forward and use the book. Okay, so our final racking is complete. We are going to be cleaning this carboy right away because we're going to filter now, filter the wine from this carboy, run it through the filter system, and then into this carboy. And then we'll be ready to bottle. Look here, this is all the sediment that's left behind, kind of a sludge. Not very nice, would make a great mess. And it does smell incredible. The black cherry is just bouncing up the jar. Ready to filter? We'll take this and put it up on the counter. Get our sterilant out of the way here. The brand of filters that we prefer to use is it's called Mini Jet filter system. It's a very simple filter. It's the type of filter where you don't filter directly into the bottles. You do have to go from one carboy to another and then bottle your wine. Okay. And again, everything must be sterile that the wine touches. So these filter parts are just going to go into my sterilant, as well as all the hose. Filter machine is an electrical appliance, so be careful with the wine and water around the pump. Actually, this room is all ground fault protected. Well, I've got all my filter machine all sterilized and rinsed off. Now we have to get the filters ready for the filter machine. And what they are little square pads. And they need to soak in water for 5 minutes. And just a cold water. So we'll fill up our sink with some cold water. And you do want to do it for the full 5 minutes, for sure. The filter pads just simply won't allow wine through properly. It'll just get a big mess of spray everywhere. Another thing that you have to understand about wine filtering, it's simply polishing the wine. It's not going to remove any of the heavy sediment. That's where racking comes in. So you do have to rack your wine just like we did here before it's filtered. Don't try to filter with that sediment in the carboy because it'll just plug the filter immediately. While the filter pads are soaking, I'm going to start putting together the filter machine. And you'll notice that these holes on the filter machine, they have to line up with the holes of these filter plates. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that these 3 plates are going to line up all the way through, from the front to the back. So once you have your plates lined up, you can grab your filter pads if they've soaked for the 5 minutes. And again, they have to be added where the holes line up. And you'll see there's a smooth side to the filter as well as a coarse side to the filter. And the coarse side faces forward towards the hand wheels. Okay, and then there's again 3 filter pads, and they're going to go in between the filter plates with the coarse side forward and the holes lined up. Then we just simply tighten down these hand wheels. And this is a critical point. These hand wheels only need to be hand tightened. Do not use a wrench on them. If you find that you're losing a lot of wine through the top or through the bottom, your wine simply wasn't clear enough to filter yet. So again, do not use a wrench. Just simply hand tighten. And you'll notice that I'm doing this right beside the sink. I prefer to do that simply because you are going to get some wine slipping out through the bottom of the filters, not going into the carboy. And that's where we have just a small hose which catches any of the excess that flows out of the filter. And that just simply goes down into the sink. Okay, so let's continue on. There's my excess hose. There's a little catch basin at the bottom. That's going into the sink. We have a hose here which has an anti-sediment tip in, just like on our racking tube. And that's going to go on the inlet of the pump. Okay, so that's on the right-hand side of the pump. And then this goes into the bottom of the carboy. Let's move this a little bit closer. Right to the bottom of the carboy. And then your last hose, or sorry, second last hose, is this little guy. That's going from the outlet of the pump to the inlet of the filter. And last but not least, we have this hose that goes from the outlet of the filters into your carboy. That's just going to go down like so. We've double checked everything's hooked up properly. The on-off button is just on the back right-hand side of the machine. Just click her on, and voila, you are filtering. So this process of filtering is going to take approximately 5 minutes, give or take. Make sure you do not let the filter run dry, that'll just wreck the pump. And while it's doing this, I'm going to add one other additive to the wine, and that's called glycerin. Glycerin is an additive that I like to put into every one of my wines that I make. It will help the wine age, it'll add to the viscosity or the feel of the wine in your mouth. And I think, a 30 ml bottle, around $2, is a very good thing to add to any of your wines. So we'll just put it in while it's filtering. And it's a syrupy-like liquid, so we will have to stir it in after. And as it's filtering, you're going to notice, again, if you take a look at the clarity and the color of the wine up here, it will look noticeably different on some wines. Whites are incredible, you can read a book through the wine. Reds are obviously quite a bit deeper color, but you should see a different tone in the color of the wine. Much like the first racking that we did on our wine kit, this time we do want to collect all the wine from this that we can. So I'm going to again prop up the carboy with the book and have the racking tube at the bottom of the carboy in one corner so we can collect all the wine that's possible. Okay. I think we're very near the bottom. Now I'm just going to hold this up and we'll just get every last drop of the wine that we can. Filtered wine now. We're getting into the exciting part of winemaking because we're actually going to be able to taste our wine right away. So with this particular kit, it's a Niagara Mist kit. It's a sweet fruit flavored wine. It doesn't require any aging whatsoever. So it's ready to drink immediately. And this is what I always do, is take a sample of it right out of the carboy. Fabulous. Black cherry Pinot Noir. Okay, we've completed our wine filtering, and I have to stress that cleaning the filter is extremely important because, well, with this wine in particular, there's a lot of sugar in the wine itself, and if that were to get stuck in the pump, your pump would be seized. It wouldn't run anymore. So it comes apart very simply. You can take a look at the wine pads. That's what we took out of the wine. Okay, so again, I just polished it up. Made it look clear, nice and clean in the glass. Okay, a nice sparkle to it. All the hoses can come off. And plates can come out. And definitely unplug it before you do any cleaning. And what we're going to do is I just basically spray off the filter machine itself, making sure that I don't get water near the electric motor. Okay. Nice hot water. Because we are going to be running water through the pump itself now, bypassing the pad end of the machine. So we have the machine clean. Now we're just going to clean all of our other components that goes into the filter machine. Our filter plates. I'm just using hot water again. Our hoses. Some of these hoses will fit onto the bottle washer, some won't. Some are a little bit too small in diameter. Okay, so the outside is all clean and the inside of the hose is done. So we're going to re-hook up our one line that goes to the input of the pump. And the other line that we used up top to go into the carboy is just going to sit in the outlet of the pump. And what we're going to do is we want to pump about 2 or 3 gallons of water through the pump itself, and that'll just clean everything out. And you just use cold water with this. So we'll fill up our sink. Plug our machine back in, and we can start pumping. So this will just push all the wine out of the filter machine, or if there's any little crevices or whatever, it's going to completely clean the machine. And then you'll be ready to go next time again. And we're done cleaning our filter machine. Hoses are clean, everything's clean, we can just dry it and put it away until next time. Well, there we have our finished wine. We did add glycerin during the filtration process, and we are going to be stirring that in next. However, this is also the stage where you could choose to sweeten your wine. And you would do that with the wine conditioner, which is basically an invert sugar, liquid sugar, with potassium sorbate. I'm not going to be sweetening this one anymore right now because it is already quite sweet, being the black cherry Pinot Noir. But this would be the stage that you would add the wine conditioner. Well, let's grab our long spoon, sterilize it, and stir in that glycerin. All stirred in. Congratulations. This is your first wine kit done. It's taken about 4 weeks, and now we are ready to bottle it and enjoy it.